Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me again today. On the agenda for today, drakon renderer again, and we're going to be working on balanced paths. So let's dive into the code. During the last session, I managed to produce this, and I gave CodeRabbit AI a little bit of time to provide some potentially meaningful feedback, and it didn't fail. So let's try to address some of it at least. I'm not terribly interested in writing sophisticated, elaborate documentation at the moment because we're still experimenting. There will be time for this. But some comments are very interesting. So here, I'm not going, I don't think I'm going to apply this one because it's just, maybe I should use this as a, you know what, let's take these two functions. I see some interesting syntax when it comes to comments, and I think this is for like a built-in documentation engine. I still need to do some research around that. So show balanced paths single row is going to change to this shift marker. And ABC, we could rename it according to CodeRabbit AI's suggestion to something like this contains multiple icons. No other references to it. I hope everybody is having a great day, by the way. I'm quite enjoying the weather today. Now, where were we? We got row marker. Should be here. And it should be executed with a single row. So now we don't need this. Let's try to build it. I thought the name is much better. In the meanwhile, resolving this. Descriptive name and documentation. I think we've already done this. And we've done this. Resolve. So in the meantime, this is cool. CodeRabbit AI approved my work. This is good. Now, let's Stay focused. 218. Oh, brackets not needed here. Oh, sorry. And now rebase and merge. There's no need to wait for another round of review. So if we go here, the balanced paths are not looking super nice now. It should be something like this. But what I wanted to do today is to focus on a new issue that I reported during the weekend. Maybe this, remove hard-coded row limit. Let's go back to the code. I don't think we have that issue anymore. Or do we? Yeah, we do. You know what? This can wait a little minute, or even a number of days. Let's format the code. Maybe not. Maybe not. This can wait, and while it is waiting, let's take a look at the milestone. I feel this milestone is going to grow a bit, so I wouldn't expect that it's going to be completed anytime very soon. But the issue I wanted to address today, or at least report it, is this. Diagrams, balanced paths. That's more like it, but still not perfect. Now, I think we are at the stage where we can sort of narrow down the list of suspicious icons. And when I say suspicious, I mean icons that will potentially be shifting down. What I mean by that is, let's focus on row identified by index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So here, if we as humans try to read this array top to bottom, we see icon 4 and icon 6, and we can already determine, sorry about that. We can already determine which icon should potentially be shifted if we look at rows beneath it. So we can see that icon 4 is not present in any row underneath row of index 3 in columns that are not of index 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now I just have to express it in the code. We see that icon 4 is not present here in this section. So it means that it needs to stay here in place. However, icon 6, if we scan the graph, we see that icon 6 is present here, right? So it means that it will potentially be shifted down. So what we need to come up with is a condition that verifies that if we have icon 4 here, the condition that verifies that icon 4 is nowhere present, is not present anywhere here, right? So how do we express this in code? I'm not sure I have a good idea yet, but we can start experimenting today. So we can go full screen with this, and has multiple icons used to determine whether we use the shift marker or not. Now we have to make this function a little bit more sophisticated. Yesterday or during the last session, we were happy with the fact that, hey, your row contains non-unique icons. Some of them will need to be shifted. So best to mark them all as to be shifted. But now let's narrow down the list to icons that exist in other places in the graph, or the graph below the row we're currently checking. Now, so let's start to think of the function signature for this. So let's call it ABC, and definitely the return type is going to be bool. Okay. The input is still going to be the row we're currently investigating, but additionally, we will need the full list of paths, because we will be scanning the whole graph, or at least the part of the graph underneath the current row. So what I'm thinking now is instead of passing the whole row to the function, we could give a row index to the function, and then it should be able to figure out on its own whether icons in the current row exist anywhere else in the graph. But let's take it slow. Just for now, we're going to do row index. We're simply going to call with has multiple unique icons with input paths indexed with row index. And that should produce the same results as we used to get calling this directly. So just to prove the concept, let's delete this. And let's start calling it. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to affect the chain of calls pretty severely. So before we make any changes, let's not forget to create a branch. And also create an issue. down the list of icons. Rows containing all rows containing non-unique icons get mark. To do mark only icons. Scanning each row. Mark only icons that appear in the graph. Below the current row. The reason I'm sighing is I can't just say to the right of the current column or to the left of the current column. Because the column we could be testing could be in the middle of the graph. So let's just write excluding. Only okay. Sorry about the detour. So we have ABC to be called instead of this. So the signature of this will also need to change. And now row marker will need to change as well. So now we're not getting a single row. We're getting all paths and row index. So let's do this. No. So here. Sorry. And here we're not folding over single row, we're folding over indices from 0 to length of input paths -1. And this is icon index. So let's do a let. Oh, this is not as simple as I thought. Let's back up a little bit. So we don't need, it is -1, but not of, we already know the row index. We need a column index here. So the column index is input paths, row index, index by row index. And this is your path. This is the length of that path. Okay, so now we can rename this to column index. We can do a let. I wonder if there is a more readable indexer. So now looking at this, we know this function getRowMarker is going to change because it's no longer responsible for the entire row. It is only going to be responsible for that individual icon. Remember, we're not marking the whole row. Now we're marking individual icons, but we can leave it for now. Let's do this. this will also have to change. So show balanced paths. Now we need to come up with a way of extracting or folding over input paths, but using the row index for down the line application. So the function signature of this is correct. Now, we can't reduce it anymore. Input paths. And here we generate indices again. Length of input paths -1. Now we can do this. So show balanced paths a single row. Let's rename this to row index. This needs to get all input paths. Two to 6. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot the row index, sorry. Oh, we don't need this now. So we don't have the markdown here. If we run this, we should be able to regenerate it. But first, let's address these comments. 226. We can remove the bracket. 229, we also can remove the bracket. Okay, that's good to know. Format. Okay, and let's run it. Yeah, it is working the same way. So great success. We started with this markdown and we end with this markdown. But what we did do is we provided a gateway for ourselves to embed more sophisticated logic in this function ABC. So let's do this. I'm slowly running out of time for this session, but what I'm going to do is just to give it a more descriptive name, and that will prepare a very good foundations for us to implement more sophisticated logic in this function. Icon because it will be a single icon. Icon present. Icon present in another path. Icon present further down another path. Let's go with that. So now we rename ABC. Okay, now it reads sort of like English-esque. If icon present further down another path with arguments, we return a shift marker. Otherwise, it's just a space. Okay. Yeah, we have that space here. So what I don't really like here is this space. The space should be present. And we have that space now, here and here. Perfect. So now we can do one more thing. Get row marker is already called in such a way that it's just obvious that it's just not correct. Meaning we iterate through all the icons forming one row. And here we're looking for a row marker. Let's rename it to get icon marker, or icon marker. And here we'll also give it a column index. Input paths, row index, column index. So now we don't really have to call this anymore. Oh no, sorry, we do. With a column index, this function changes as well. And now we stop calling this. We used to, but now we stop. We provide just an arbitrary rule. Just add our. We say if let's make fun with this. Column index is greater than, say, 8. We don't have to do if else. Let's see if this works. Oh, now it's not a row marker, it's an icon marker, or icon marker. I don't really like how this is not getting refreshed. And preview. No. It shouldn't be like that. Or should it? Did it even run it? Sorry about that. Yes, this is sort of what I wanted to achieve. A nice little diagonal line. Perfect. So we can see that the algorithm is not correct, but it's evolving, and we have now the ability to reason about the remainder of the graph beyond the currently verified or scanned icon. I think we're going to wrap it up for now here. I'm going to add it and commit it. Now, I need to specify a branch rate. Okay, I think for now this is good. So I'd like to thank everybody for your attention and for sticking with me. The weather is turning very nice. And yeah, during the next session, I'll probably flesh out that algorithm to be slightly more correct. And yeah, we'll see where this takes us. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks. Bye.